Today, I'm going to be showing you how I solve the 3x3 mirror blocks. Now, I'm going to be showing you basically how to visualize this cube to help you solve it. Now, I do expect you to be able to solve the normal 3x3, and we're just going to be using beginner algorithms, or a beginner's method, I should say, in order to solve this. Once you know how to visualize this cube, you will be able to add, the more complex or more algorithms like F2L or your OLLs or PLLs or, whatever method you solve by. So the first thing we're going to be doing is basically the equivalent of solving the white cross. Now, instead of solving the white side, we're going to be solving the skinniest side. So let me mix this up real quick. Ooh. Okay, now once we got this, when you're looking at these centers, you won't really know which one is the, I guess, the thinnest side, which is for the thinnest side is what I'm trying to say. But the easiest way to do it is just move the pieces around. If you see these sticking out with a thinner piece, or one of the thinner pieces next to it, you know that's not it. Now, I know this one's not it. This one looks pretty low, so I'll try that one. I'll just move this thin piece, check it out. And once you have one lined up, you'll be able to, it's flat, it should be level. And once you have that, you're just going to get the other three cross pieces to match up with it. Now, you can put these here, and if one matches up with another center, like this does, is level with this, and is level with this, you're going to want to make sure that the other side is level. So, as you can see, this side is not level with that one, but this side is. So I'll need to move this one around. You may just need to experiment a little, and you're trying to get all of these levels. So as you can see, this one is level with this one, and now this one is also level with this one. And I just put this one over here, and then line these up again, and then check if this is level. And as you can see, this is definitely not right here. It might be hard to see because it's black, but this does not match with this. So now I only have two spots for this one, so I know it goes on the other side. Okay, and then I just need to get the last piece there, and then match them up with the correct centers. Make sure that they're all level. Now we're just going to have to finish off this side, which would basically be finishing off the white side, but in this case it is the flat or thinnest side, and that is important just for the last step of completing the top layer, so it's easy to visualize. Now we're just putting in the corners at this point, and you should be able to visualize by looking at the edges if it's going to need to be a big piece, or in this case a small piece. I'm going to put this big one in right now. And this small one. I just got one more. I got to find it. There. Okay, and then at that point you should just have this one thin layer. Now we're just going to have to put these edge pieces in right here. Now we're going to be using an algorithm used in the beginner's method where we take the piece up here and we put it right here. Now in this case, this needs to go to the right, so I'll twist the top left. And I'll have the algorithm on screen. And as you see, it'll go right there. And we just do the opposite algorithm if we want to put one to the left, which, whoops, I screwed up and I did another one to the right. There you go. That one should be to the left. And we just do basically the same algorithm. Again, I'll have it on the screen, except it's reversed. So anything you did to the left, you now have to do to the right for that. Also have the algorithms in the description as well. Now, for this, as you can see, we're going to basically find where it lines up with one. So basically there's medium-sized pieces and then there's very long pieces. And see, this is a long one, this is a long one. But any of these edge pieces that don't stick out, you're only looking at the edges. Don't look at these corners. As you see, this edge sticks way out there, so I know that's not going to be in the middle layer. That's going to be in the top. I'm looking for like these medium-sized ones. As you can see, the size between this one and this one is very different. So basically, I move this medium-sized one around till I find where it lines up. As you can see, it lines up with this one, right? And then I look and I try to visualize in my head if it moved over here, if it would fit. And as you can see, this, if it moved over here, the gap in that side would be too large. As you can see, it doesn't fit. So I wanted to move that to the opposite side. And we're going to be doing those algorithms I showed earlier. Now in this case, as you can see, it doesn't line up in here anymore because I did that algorithm again on it. But as you can see, I'll line up here and I'll know go over here, because this side's going to be too big. If you screw up, don't worry. You can just do the algorithm again and it'll fix it. Or you can retry, I guess. And again, I'll have these algorithms on screen and in the description. Now again, I'm looking for medium-sized pieces. So this one looks like it might be too long, but I will still, yep, moved it side. Just move it side to side, and if it lines up, it goes in one of these spots. Now it looks like it's too, this is going to be too big of a space. So, this one looks like it might be too small. Yeah, I'm going to go to the right here. Hope I'm on camera. Okay, so basically we're going to be doing that algorithm to move it to the right side. Okay, and it looks like it did fit. And again, looking for the, yep, this one lines up. So I know it goes in here because it won't fit in there. Do the algorithm. Okay, and then look for the one that'll line up here, which is this one. Just already lined up for me, and do it in like that. And if one gets stuck in here, as you see, I've completed the second layer. But say if one of these pieces, if you go around and none of them line up, which in this case I believe I'll have one that lines up, right? I'll line up over here. But if you go through the whole thing here, I'll make it so it doesn't happen. If you twist it and none of these line up on this, on the top that is, you might want to check in this spot, because this one will actually need to go in here. It just needs to be twisted, basically. And all you have to do is do either the right or left algorithm and have it on that side and pull it out. Basically just putting a random one of these long pieces in the slot, and you've basically pulled it out. Oh, that wasn't even the right one. You've pulled it out, and then you can just place it in how it should go. Like that. And you should be, if you can have multiple, and if so, whoops, you can do it twice. Now, basically, what you're going to be looking at is the farthest ones out as, in this case, if you usually solve white, it's going to be the yellow. So, basically, whatever color you usually solve on top, if you're not color neutral, is going to be the farthest ones out. Now, you should be able to visualize the ones that are, facing the top by the center, because that's always going to be as far up. So, since these are level with it, I know these are going to be the top pieces. So in this case, if you solve white first, these highest pieces would be the yellow. Now, for these ones on the side that aren't, lined up with the center, since they're facing outward, you want to look at the furthest parts out. So as you can see, since this is yellow, I know since this is the furthest part out on this piece, because it's the highest point of the pieces, is going to be the yellow. So I know this is yellow, 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 this is yellow. I hope that makes sense. It's just the farthest piece sticking out of these pieces is going to be yellow. So basically in this case we have this L shape, which we're just doing the beginner's method here, so we're not going to be using any OLLs or PLL. So now we have the yellow cross, basically. So in this case, we're just trying to get the top flat now. And we're going to be looking at the furthest pieces out, or if they match the top, they're going to be yellow too. So I know this one's yellow. This one would be this side for this one, and this side for this one, because it's the farthest piece sticking out. That would be the usual yellow if you solve white first, the usual top. So if you know all your OLLs or PLLs, you can put those in, or do them, and you can solve it that way. Or you can use the beginner's method where you do so many moves and it'll solve the top. But basically, you're just trying to get the top flat like you usually would on a 3x3. Now, once you have that, now when I solve a 3x3, whoop, I screwed that up, didn't I? Okay, so I always solve the corners first. So in this case, or in the beginner's method, I'd solve the corner, of course. Didn't mean to do that. I'd always solve the corners first, so those would be in place, and then I do the edges in the beginner's method. And that's basically what I'm going to be doing here. If you solve, I know some people solve edges first and then corners. If you do that, feel free to, but that is not how I do it, and frankly I don't know the algorithms to do it that way, unfortunately. But basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to find the ones that line up on the side. So as you can see, I already got these two lined up, and that's basically these two are out of place. I need to swap these is basically what I need to do. And again, I'm doing corners first. So I put these in the front and do an algorithm. I'll have it on screen and in the description if it is needed. Okay, like that. And then I will have these sides lined up. Now in this case, I have 3 of these out of place. And in order to tell which one you want to move, you can either, just guess, or if you have all 4 out of place, you can just do it twice. But if you move it to the side, you can see this side lines up. So I know it's this side I need to bring over when I do the algorithm. If I move the other side over, I know it's not this one because it doesn't line up. So basically, I'm going to do the algorithm and pull the side I knew matched up. Should match up right here. And then just finish off the algorithm. And it's solved. Now, I hope this helped. If you do have any questions or anything like that, I'll see what I can do about them. I might not be able to answer them all, but I'll try my best.